Here's Donald Trump talking about how billionaires basically have dictated our foreign policy with him in the most sort of egregious of ways. I mean, let's be honest. Billionaires have largely dictated our foreign policy since the inception of this country.
Yeah.
But this is pretty naked. This isn't really just billionaires. It's just a billionaire who decided that the United States should support Israel moving its, or I should say, basically signing off on Jerusalem becoming Israel's capital as recognized by the U.S. And of course, and more, which in many ways led the predicate for a lot of what we've seen today. Now, that doesn't mean that Joe Biden couldn't have inhibited Israel. We have the purse strings, as it were. But here is Donald Trump speaking to
and other things.
The Israeli American Council last week.
We heard it, and too bad, but we did do the Abraham Accords and other things, but I would have even preferred to do this. We would have had something done. Just as I promised, I recognized Israel's eternal capital and opened the American embassy in Jerusalem. Jerusalem became the capital. I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights. You know, Miriam and Sheldon would come into the White House probably almost more than anybody outside of people that work there. And they were always after, and as soon as I'd give them something, always for Israel. As soon as I'd give them something, they'd want something else. I said, give me a couple of weeks, will you please? But I gave them the Golan Heights, and they never even asked for it. You know, for 72 years, they've been trying to do the Golan Heights, right? And even Sheldon didn't have the nerve. But I said, you know what? I said to David Friedman, give me a quick lesson, like 5 minutes or less on the Golan Heights. And he did. And I said, let's do it. We got it done in about 15 minutes, right?
Sick. What does it mean, get it done? Illegally annexing territory that is the rightful home for people that have been living there their whole life?
Who do we got to tell that will do this? But I mean, talk about the just enormous corruption associated with this.
Can I read you some quotes from his 2016 campaign? Part of the beauty is that I'm very rich. So if I need $600 million, I can put up $600 million myself. It's a huge advantage. I don't need anybody's money. This is another quote. It's nice. I don't need anybody's money. I'm using my own money. I'm not using donors. I don't care. I'm really rich. You know the nice part about me, I don't need anybody's money. He kept claiming he was self-funding his campaign. We know that that's not true. But the point is that now he's just basically nakedly, with his tongue out, asking for pro-Israel money. How many frickin' Israel fundraisers has he done in the past 2 months? Like, this is what, the third or fourth that we know about that he's given public remarks for?
Well, all right. To be fair, he's not going over, he's not exclusively soliciting just pro-Israel money. He's also soliciting pro-crypto money. And I mean, aggressively so, which, you know, makes total sense. I mean, you think about why is JD Vance on that ticket? It is because of the money that he knew was coming with JD Vance's nomination from Peter Thiel and Andreessen and what's the other guy, Andreessen's partner?
Horowitz?
Oh, I don't
Horowitz
know.
And
Calacanis and Sachs and all those guys.
David Sachs and Musk, for that matter. And here is Donald Trump lapping up more of that crypto money. Here he is doing is this an industrial video, a promotional video with Brian Kilmeade on Fox News?
It's like it's a long.
They bill it as an actual news segment.
Yes,
okay.
So they cover a few different subjects.
I wasn't sure if it was just like one of those private industrials that they play at like a Bitcoin conference. Go ahead.
Right.
I don't even get it. Do you understand what you bought hamburgers?
Well, I did. I bought a hamburger with Bitcoin. They said it was the first purchase ever made, I guess, of a hamburger or something. And no, look, I'm a believer in staying at the top. This is a hot thing. And rather than giving it to China, like the AI stuff, artificial intelligence, China's going crazy about it. They're also going crazy on Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And I do understand it. I think it's going to be a very hot industry, and it already.
I don't even.
It really is a hot industry. He doesn't even know the fake line about it's supposed to be a currency. But he gives away the game where it's like, this is hot. This is like, this is a commodity. A hot commodity.
A lot of suckers here.
A lot of suckers.
Kamala Harris is not distancing herself too much from crypto at this
Not
current
at all.
moment,
No.
which is very frustrating to witness. And you have Democrats like Kirsten Gillibrand, our senator, who is increasingly focusing on trying to, quote, regulate crypto, which is basically formalizing it, as opposed to letting this kind of insanely exploitative speculative asset die on the vine after it already crashed. So it's not correct to say it's hot. It's been around, it's been horrible, and now they're trying to make a resurgence.
Crypto is money laundering technology. It's not really anything beyond that. Mainly used to buy drugs early on in the technology. And now its main import is swamping elections with money to buy candidates. And often that aligns with pro-Israel stuff, as it did in the Cory Bush race, for instance. Any Democrat that is pro-crypto is fighting against themselves, and it's self-defeating. And it's brainless, Harris's take on this stuff.
I just want to also make the point about Israel and the Golan Heights when Trump says that kind of stuff. Like, it's not just that the moving the embassy to Jerusalem and the Abraham Accords paved the way for the October 7th and Israel's genocide in Gaza right now. The slaughter in Lebanon that we've seen over the past few days, including right as we speak, the death toll is climbing. And children and women are included in this. I mean, it's over 200, well over as we speak. The Golan Heights, that was a major escalation with Lebanon, and Israel at this very moment is attempting to, while they say it's fighting Iranian-backed proxies with Hezbollah, they're trying to push their way even further north and expand their territory in that way. And they're begging Hezbollah to respond. So you can thank Trump for setting the groundwork for that as well.
Hi, folks. Hey, you've heard me criticize how the mainstream media across the political spectrum either fails to report on important stories or prioritizes their own bias over balanced and comprehensive news coverage. Well, that's why I use Ground News as a solution on a daily basis. Longtime sponsors gather related news and add important context so you can understand how each outlet reports on it and maybe sometimes skews the facts. This, and being so close to the presidential election, you're going to see rhetoric against Harris and Tim Walz is only going to intensify. So I can't recommend enough that you check out Ground News's election page. My Vantage plan gets me access to their election-focused blind spot feed and diverse perspectives on each candidate so I can find the truth on who they really are, not just hear the loudest, most biased opinions. And areas where, frankly, the left or the right is not covering. For each story you read on their platform, you're going to find article Ground News found reporting on it, as well as tags to the next source indicating if they're independently owned or not, how credible their reporting is, and if they have any political bias one way or another, making it really easy to critically analyze different perspectives and come to your own conclusions. Their mission aligns so much with what we try to do on this show. We try and make you more media literate. So I can't recommend enough going to ground.news/majority or scanning my QR code to subscribe. Ground News is independent and subscriber supported. My viewers, however, will save 40% on the same Vantage plan that I use for unlimited access to all their features on a daily basis. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.